I'm Eng, and this is my brother Chang. Denise and Paul are part-time hippies.
Welcome to Mount Pilot on a beautiful, absolutely beautiful, warm, sunny day. Paul is home doing work and I am practicing my gap year part-time hippie retirement by visiting this absolutely marvelous place. I'm going to show you the view. The leaves have not started changing yet much, but it is still an awe-inspiring view. Enjoy. Here's some of that famous rock face that you can see by the road, part of Pilot Mountain. On the one hand, you can see this beautiful rock face, but on the other, you can look down and see the gorgeous view. So we're going to get a little bit closer to that rock face, but obviously I'm not going to be climbing that rock. You can climb, not on that side though, but you can climb. So we are heading towards the little pinnacle overlook, and I'm going to just swoop it over here so that you can see it is quite the climb, and I will meet you at the top. Although you can't climb to the tip top of this, you can take a trail with steps to go around, I guess, the bottom of it.
That's what we just did. It goes all the way around the bottom.
All the way around the, I suppose that would be the dome.
Yeah.
But not.
You can kind of see where it goes. I mean, you're hugging right along the mountain.
So you're hugging the mountain, and you just can't go to the tippy top. They got that closed off. And there's no railings. No railings. So that might not be something I'm doing today. But I made an accomplishment to get this far. So this is the other side. Oh, there's a lot of hawks up there. You are hearing the Buck Mountaineers. They are a volunteer group that comes to the Blue Ridge Music Center every week, and they play old-time mountain music. This is genuine, historic music that has been passed down from generation to generation. Let's listen in on them for a little bit, and then you will see a puppet act. The strings to the puppets are actually attached to the musician's hands so that when they strum, the puppets move and also act as an instrument as they make sound. Where people migrated and created this old-time mountain music that you are hearing. Let's look at some instruments that they played. You're looking at a banjo and a violin, which they called a fiddle. This is an 18th century style gourd banjo by Pete Ross, made in 2009. so it is a replica, and it is patterned after an early gourd banjo from coastal Georgia or South Carolina, as depicted in the late 18th century folk painting, The Old Plantation. This instrument is fretless and has 4 strings. No one knows when European Americans took up banjo playing. Estimates vary over a 140-year period from around 1630 to 1770. Most farmers on the Appalachian frontier did not own slaves, but influences from African American songs, singing styles, and the banjo reached some of them before the American Revolution. As settlement intensified, so did the sharing of musical ideas. The banjo came to play a central role in a social music shared by blacks and whites. You might recognize these instruments: a mandolin, a banjo, of course, and a fiddle with a banjo. The fiddle. You can call it violin or fiddle. There's not a bit of difference. Folk and classical performers have used the names interchangeably for more than 300 years. The fiddle was new and exciting to middle-class folk when European immigrants brought it to North America during the late 1600s and early 1700s. Jam sessions were weekly gatherings of a community of musicians at stores and other public places that have been common for decades. They are now often called jam sessions, and there are hundreds of them. You see this beautiful guitar, and the guitar was a common instrument in these jam sections. This is Doc Watson. He was a blind man who was influential and, if you excuse the pun, instrumental in folk music in Appalachia around Boone, North Carolina. He is the one who founded Oktoberfest when his son unfortunately died in a farm accident. And Oktoberfest is still going on to this day, and you can visit it at the end of April, beginning of May every year. Singing, of course, is a big part of folk music, and what you're looking at here is called shape note music. And a lot of the music was learned by ear, but when it was written down years ago, they would write it with shape notes, which would stand for do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, or do. And people, if they knew their notes, they would be able to sing it in solfege and learn the melody and also learn the words. Outside of the music center is a path that leads to this beautiful amphitheater, and we have seen performance here, particularly the band Scythian performed here, and it is a great place to sit and watch a performance. We really, really enjoy coming to this place. Chang and Eng Meklong were born in Siam, which is now Thailand, and they were born on May 11th, 1811. They died January 16th and 17th, 1874 in Mount Airy, North Carolina. They were congenitally joined twins who gained worldwide fame for their anatomical anomaly. As a result of their fame, the term Siamese twin came to denote the condition of being one pair of conjoined twins of any nationality. Chang and Eng joined at the waist by a tubular band of tissue about 3.25 inches long and about 1.5 inches in diameter, were born of a half-Chinese mother and a Chinese father. Their anatomical peculiarity caused them to be sought after as children, and they even had an audience with the King of Siam. In 1829, Chang and Eng, in the hire of a British merchant, left Siam, and throughout the following decade, they traveled around the eastern United States and in Canada, Cuba, and Europe. Until they reached the age of 21, they traveled with their sponsor, who received the earnings from their exhibition. After that, they took charge of their own tours and together accumulated a small fortune. They settled in Mount Airy, North Carolina, bought a farm, and took up farming. They became naturalized citizens, adopting the surname Bunker, and in April 1843, they married a pair of sisters, Adelaide and Sarah Yates. Chang and Eng maintained separate households 1.5 miles apart. They alternated 3-day visits with their respective spouses, and each twin fathered several children. In fact, together, they both had 21 children. During the American Civil War, they lost much of their money, and in 1869, they once more went on tour in Europe. This is according to the online Encyclopedia Britannica. Just a few facts about Eng and Chang. The reason that they are so important is because the campground we stayed at originally was Eng and Chang's farmland, and their descendants actually built a house on that farmland that I will be showing you as well. In fact, this is the house right here, and they have kept it with the current decor, which represents generations before them, although not as far back necessarily as the 1800s. But you can see it's rather dated, but they love the house anyway. We received a tour from one of the descendants, and she showed us the whole house. And the descendants also run the campground as well. Once a year, all the family, if you can imagine 21 children that had children and grandchildren, they converge upon the campground and they meet in this house for a family reunion each year. And to me, that sounds like a lot of fun. And so they are just one big, huge family. And this is the legacy that Eng and Chang left behind. Paul. Where are we at?
We were at the Mount Airy 5th Annual Moonshiners and Antique Car Show.
All right, I heard a pretty loud card there. So we're at the Moonshiners and Antique Car Show, is that what it's called?
Yeah, I think they also have race cars here too.
Well, I see one here, Jerry from Jerry Hunt Super Center. Wow. Let's take a look at this. No glass here. If anybody is thirsty, we have a moonshine still right here. Moonshine still. This 100-gallon direct steam injection distillation system was designed and fabricated by North Carolina's legendary moonshiner and master distiller Buck Nance. The design is a modernized version of the original concept of Buck's father when he had returned from his tour duty in Germany during World War II. This is one my cousin Mark would like. Coca-Cola. He works for Coca-Cola. Go Coke. Woo! Take a peeky weeky. All right. Safety features. Safety first. This is supposed to be Richard Petty's car, and he has been quite the racer, as you know. Richard Petty. right, so we are talking about your car here, and this is dedicated to your friend. And tell me about him.
His name was Kenneth Deese. They called him the Big Show. COVID took him in 2021 from us. He was an angel on earth, and God needed an angel in heaven because he was special to everyone. And we did this tribute to keep his memory alive. Everybody knew him in the area and stuff. He was a great race car driver, a great friend.
What was his name?
Kenneth Deese.
Kenneth Deese.
Yeah, they called him the Big Show.
The Big Show. And was he a driver?
Yes, ma'am.
And tell me about his
win. Over 400 wins. He'd fabricate cars, race motors. Everyone knew him. For to meet him, it was a blessing because he was a special person.
Wow. And can you tell me your names again?
I'm Johnny, and this is Donna.
Hi.
We're from Gaston, South Carolina.
Gaston, South Carolina, and you came all the way up here to show his car.
Well, Bill Blair, that's over this, he was good friends with Kenneth too.
Okay.
And we were supposed to bring this car last year, and we didn't. So we decided to bring it this year.
And I do want to get your bumper here. I may be old, but I can still rock and roll. Well, thank you very much. It's starting to rain.
It was a pleasure meeting y'all. See you, Blueberry.
All right, Blueberry.
Blueberry's making the rounds.
That's right. She's having a good time. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
We are in Mount Airy again, but it's fall this time. And we are in, otherwise known as Mayberry. But look at this store. I don't know if they're open or not, but boy, are they decorated. Lots of fun, lots of fall, and we ate at Walker's soda fountain for lunch, and it was fantastic. It looks like my fall store is closed. Dang, they would have made a sale too. But it's nearly 6 p.m. and we haven't gotten to daylight savings time yet. Looks like somebody had some problems though there. She's just kind of hanging by a thread. Yuck, yuck, yuck. But this is Mount Airy, otherwise known as Mayberry. Walkers serving Mount Airy since 1925. And they have the best shakes and the best burgers. And there is Mayberry Market and Souvenirs and Antique Mall, which would be fun. I could get lost in there, lost in time. And they have different cute little stores. So this is Mayberry Country. And at least they're still open. And you can get all kinds of souvenirs here. There's Andy. Hi, Andy. But the rest of these on a Friday night, they're closing down. Because in Mayberry, it's just a sleepy little town. And now, enjoy these pictures of Mayberry or Mount Airy in the fall while I roll the credits. But before that, get ready for a really fantastic show coming on October 15th. We are going to be featuring the International Bluegrass Association's Wide Open Bluegrass, which happened in Raleigh, North Carolina. So it is going to be really great. You're going to get to see Sarah P. Duke Gardens in Durham, North Carolina, as well as hear some really great bluegrass music. So please join us in 2 weeks for this. The release again is October 15th. Meanwhile, here are the credits, and can't wait to see you again. Bye-bye.